Thank you. Well. I certainly think there is an irony to the fact that they've asked me to do a talk on Reinvigorate when everyone is always telling me to calm down. All right, I'm a little bit depressed because Andrew just spoke about sleep, and I've always believed myself to be an elite sleeper, and now he's saying I've got something in common with Donald Trump. And it's not my hair. All right, so re-energise. Hang on, I'm going to start again. Initially, I was just going to do this talk in relation to well-being, but after I spoke yesterday, I've had a number of you come up and say thank you for saying that you have been in a dark place and you're clawing your way back because I've had a similar situation. So today I'm going to talk about both of these things in relation to how do you reinvigorate yourself on a day-to-day basis, but also how do you reinvigorate yourself after you feel like you're in that really dark place. So, how do we re-energise? Now, some of you at the moment probably need a little bit of re-energising, and that's because when most of us fall into a bit of a hull, like a bit of a dull, we reach for sugar. And if anyone ate those little pastry things at afternoon tea time, I saw what it did to Roger Harris, and unfortunately what happens is what goes up must come down. So sugar is not a way to re-energise. The other thing is that after you come after a shift or you finished a run of days or a run of nights, lots of us fall into the trap where we think we're really tired, what we need to do is rest. So we lie on the couch, we make a sloth look like, Usain Bolt, and we don't move. We just watch mindless TV over and over, and we say to ourselves, this is going to help. This is going to replenish me, this is going to re-energise me, this is going to get me back on track. But what inevitably happens is you lie on the couch, you graze mindlessly, you watch lots of TV, you nap, and then when you go to bed, you can't sleep properly, and then the next day you feel worse than after your big episode on the couch. And that's because energy creates energy. Lying around creates slothdom. The other thing that I've learned about energy is that all of us try to manage our time. Time management is a skill that's hugely valued within health. And what we've discovered is that don't bother about managing your time because it's always 24 hours, no matter how desperately you wish it was more or less. But if you manage your energy, you can do things much more effectively. And the key to that is to do the thing you hate or least like the most when you have the most energy. Now, pretend that you're doing a PhD and your name is Liz. And what you do on a daily basis is you put it off and you do all those other things so that at 10:30 at night, 11 o'clock at night, you sit down to start studying. And inevitably what happens is you headbutt the keyboard after you doze off. You have to do the things you least want to do when you have the most energy. Save the things that you don't like doing, like ironing or folding clothes or those other mundane tasks that have to be done. That's when you watch TV. Because it's a mindless task. So energy creates energy. Manage your energy, not your time. Now, what about when you're feeling really numb after something has happened, either in your life or in your working life? What does energy look like then? For me, keeping a routine so that my poor, tired, stressed brain didn't have to make decisions was a lifesaver. The alarm went off. I went to the gym, whether I felt like it or not. Exercising and going outside into the sunshine or into the moonlight and reminding myself that the world was bigger than Liz Crow kept my energy functional enough until I could start to recover. What about RECONNECT? What did Jill Hicks say to us yesterday? When she thought she was dying, what did she think of? Now for us, hopefully, work feels like a really meaningful, passionate pursuit. But there are times when it doesn't. So what do we need to reconnect with? You ever see a child in the street or in a park, they're amused by everything. They touch everything, they smell everything, they lick everything. Not that I'm suggesting you do that. Although if you lick it, it is yours. But what do we need to reconnect with? Reconnecting with people who are important to us rather than people we feel like we should see. At some point in our crazy society, busyness became the new popularity. If you're not busy, it means that your life has no meaning. And that's not true. But you ask anyone here, how are you feeling? I'm busy and I'm tired. Because for us now, that means that you're living a life worthwhile. So what do you need to reconnect with? Self? People you love, your kids, nature, music. Did you used to have a hobby that you loved that you had to put on the back burner while you tried so hard to make it into medicine or nursing or whatever your occupation may be? But reconnect with people who make you feel real. Reconnect with people who make you feel good about yourself. Reconnect with yourself. How many people here, put up your hand, can remember like that the worst day at work? Put up your hand. How many people here can remember the best day at work? Very few. Reconnect with what it is that, the values, the passion that brought you to your career in the first place. And when you have a great day at work, don't just reconnect with it, savor it. Because on those days or those weeks or even those months when you fall into that terrible, dark place, having something to savor and hold on to will make a difference. We're very spoilt in paediatrics because children write you notes and people send you Christmas photos to show you that kids have survived and are doing well. When I was in the dark place, to be able to pull out that box of thank you notes and stuff reminded me that anything that has ever been awful has always been balanced by the thank yous and the memorable happy moments. And last but not least, let's talk about rhythm. And because I've heard about sexual harassment, I'm not going to talk about the rhythm method. So you people are probably too young for that joke, but anyway. Look it up, Google it. Then you'll realise how funny I was. That you laugh at, bloody hell. Okay, so rhythm. Until only 100 years ago, 150 years ago, for some, lots of people lived within the rhythm of the nature of the universe. We went to bed when the sun went down, and we got up when the sun came up because we didn't have electricity. And the whole nature of work and life and society has changed. It's changed rapidly, and unfortunately, our evolutionary biological selves are still playing catch up. But there's something very powerful about nature that we have forgotten about. I'm sure most of you have seen the movie Avatar, where they have the tree of life, and they go and worship it. There's something very real about that. When was the last time you took off your shoes and put your feet in the grass or the sand or the mud and you felt it? And running to put the bin out as the garbage truck comes at 5:30 in the morning does not count. Our bodies have a hunger to be in nature. Do you sometimes go and sit on a beach and listen to the waves roll in and think, why don't I do this more often? People who spend time beside trees, this is true, there's science behind this, will lower their cortisol levels, lower their heart rates. So hugging a tree actually has some merit, but I don't recommend you do it in public. Lastly, I can see that most of you are starting to fade, and that's because we're all thinking, how are we going to get dressed and all hotted up for this evening? And it's just been a big couple of days. But music has a really important, powerful connection for most people, and the rhythm of music that can change your mood. so that when you're feeling kind of winding down, powerful music can lift you up. So I want you to take a second and just savor and think of one of those days that was great at work. And it could have been great from a patient point of view, or it could have been great because you were having fun with your colleagues, or it could have just been a great day. And then I want you to all stand up. Stand up. I can see you and I will point you out if you don't do as I say. I want you to think about all the cool things that you do at your job. Then in your head, I'd like you to join along with me with something off my first album. That was a joke. I don't have an album. I would like you to do 3 basic moves. Now, see if we can bring in 4 simple little words that I think you will know. They go, we will rock you. Ready? We will rock you. What are you going to do? We will rock you. I will see you on the dance floor tonight. Re-energize.